Okay, this is a three-part series on whether you should have guns or not, and these are the articles that I pulled up. Now, the first one is 10 reasons why they should ban handguns. Another one is 15 reasons why they should have handguns. And the third one is the excuses as to why we don't have guns. I don't have one for now, but it's not that I don't plan on having it in the near future. I have some resources where I should be acquiring some guns, and I should have some resources where I can get me a reloader down the road. So that is on my list for part of a survival situation. But this in here is the 10 reasons, part one, 10 reasons we need a national handgun ban right here. So this is the 10 reasons for this here. Now, it says, bang bang, two shootings in a span of 8 hours on Tuesday. Don't tell us there isn't a crisis in our city. Handguns are blasting a hole in our national fabric, snuffing out young lives, and costing billions in health care every year. And it's not just a gang thing. Uh, Mayor David Miller has been taking aim at the feds and is pushing a national handgun ban. So far, more than 65,000 Canadians have signed his online petition. Yet in this election, the NDP is the only federal party talking about outright ban. Now this is talking about in Canada here, but this is the effect in, like I say, this was in a Toledo magazine. You can see the date on it a few years back. It was September 17, 2008. Now, number one reason, there's way too much cold, hard steel floating around. We think of the U.S. as gun obsessed, but more adults per uh, capita are packing in Canada. Now, this is also talking about, I'm just saying this is talking about Canada, but this is also in America case as it is. In the United States, more than 632,559 guns are registered. In Canada, it's talking about, but it says 1 in 4 compared to 1 in 6 in the United States. So they're saying there's more guns in Canada than there is in the United States. But you got to also realize those people are more, they hunt, they do other things, they do more things than just, you got a lot of mountain areas up in there. So I can see why a lot of them has more guns. Uh, Gun dealers and the feds can't keep track of what's out there. Is number two. 1/3 of the guns used in crime actually come from so-called legal sources, from break-ins at gun stores and homes of collectors. Since 1997, more than 97 firearms have been reported missing or stolen in Canada. Another 130,000 licensed guns owners who have previously registered fail or refuse to register their guns after the Libs introduced a new gun regulation in '98. The thing is, a lot of people they're not going to register their guns. They're just not. They bought them from their cousins or aunts or friends or whatever, and these guns have been passed from one hand to another. There's just no, and they feel like it's none of your business if I own a gun or not. Bottom line, I bought this gun. It's my gun, and I'm not going to register this gun to let you know that I have it because it's none of your business. That's their attitude on that. Okay. So, but they feel that everybody should register their guns or turn them in. Number three, firearms are the third leading cause of death among young people. Huh. Now, it's just saying it's the third leading cause. I wonder what the other two. Is it drugs? Or is it drugs? Yeah. And maybe wrecks. Who knows? Uh, Number four is not mostly a gang thing. Suicide and accidental deaths from guns accounts for 2/3 of all firearms related deaths. 2/3 of them. So, a lot of people, when they commit suicide and accidental death, it's saying 2/3. It's not saying half of them. It's not saying 75% of them. It's saying 2/3. That's what they're saying there. And then the losses, of course, it's talking about season to like $1 billion. Number 6, stiffer penalties and prison terms are not working. See, more cops are patrolling the streets than ever before, and crime in all other major categories is down, yet incidence of gun violence keeps rising. Maybe it's because I don't know, maybe it's just they're taking so many of the guns away that it's making it easier for the legal guns to be out there. Who knows? Okay, the firearm registry is riddled with holes where handguns are concerned. If you got a felony record, you can't have a gun. I think it's wrong that a person should not be allowed to own a gun, even if they have a felony record, because a lot of these people get felony records are really minor offenses that landed on it, saying that took their rights away from having a gun to protect themselves and stuff. So, I don't know. I think it's still pretty strict, but it says it needs to be stiffer. So I don't know. I don't know. Whatever you think on it. Then number 7, we share the world's most frequent border with the largest manufacturer of handguns. Okay, and they're talking about 2/3 of all guns seized by Toledo police enter Canada illegally from the United States. So they're saying is that they live right next door to us, and they're talking about at some flea markets south of the border, gun buyers don't even have to present a driver's license. So what they're saying is that they're buying the guns here in the U.S. and they're taking them back to Canada. The firearm registration. Okay, well, excuse me. Number 9, gun manufacturers and the gun lobby are lying to us. They sell us fear, telling us we need to arm ourselves for self-defense using the very weapons that threaten us. Guns are manufactured for one reason and one reason only: to kill. License and registration regulations are not protecting us from gun violence. So that's how they feel about that. Now, number 10, gun violence create obstacles to economic growth. So, back in the 1800s and even before that, carrying a gun around was second nature with you because you had to have that gun to survive with. Was a lot of things happen that shouldn't happen? Sure, a lot of things happen that shouldn't happen. But also they needed the gun. Now, this is the 10 reasons that they feel that you should not have guns. Number 1, there are way too much cold, hard steel floating around. Number 2, gun dealers and the feds can't keep track of what's out there. Number 3, firearms are the 3rd leading cause of death among young people. Number 4, it's not mostly a gang thing. Number 5, gun violence is costing us billions. Number 6, stiffer penalties and prison terms are not working. Number 7, we share the world's most prison border with the world's largest manufacturer of handguns. They're talking about the United States here. Number 8, the firearm registry is riddled with holes where handguns are concerned. They get much more stiffer than this. You're going to have to dance in a pink bunny suit. Gun manufacturers. Number 9, gun manufacturers and the gun lobbies are lying to us. Number 10, gun violence create obstacle to economic growth. Now, I've seen here a couple of comments here. And I want to read you what the comments said right here. It says that one of them says, "What university crap Hyper F wrote this? Probably has never had hands on a firearm. Must have approached this subject like any other school project. Gathered useless state and compiled a mountain of uneducated BS." Then another one says, "I love how uninformed this is and that the numbers are out of date. There are way more guns in Canada hands than are suggested above. Nearly 20 times as many, in fact. I also love that they left out that area with less gun restriction typically has less crime. An example of this is that New York and Chicago, both cities with gun bans, have exponentially higher gun crime rates than places like Austin or really any southern city? Or how about that license holder goes through a written test, practical test, background test, verbal interview, which is later verified, and then a daily background check? That's right. If one of the 2 million gun owners slip up, they come and they take their guns away, and there are still 2 million of them. That's why a lot of people don't want to register guns, because by doing all this, they're infringing on their rights at that part. Okay, then one of them says, um, one of them says, you probably voted for Stephen Harper. Another one's shaking my head. Hey, drugs are banned too. How has that worked out? Doubt it's stopped. Go smoke another one of your gun owners. We can't be bothered with legal activities. We have a criminal record check every day. Where the liberal sense of justice for all? They apply to everyone, don't they? Are you going to suggest compromising everyone for their material possessions after they are banned and destroyed? Compensation. Excuse me. While you're riding around your righteous high horse, how about not generalizing a group of people based on the actions of a very small minority? Now, the thing is on this, and we have it here in the United States, we have people who are rattling to ban the guns. Now, the big concern on that is that they feel if you ban the guns, then you're going to have more illegal ones put out on the streets, because that's what's going to basically happen on that. And we have it now. So you're going to create a market for illegal guns. It's going to cost way on up there. I agree. The fact is that we need to be cautious on our guns, but we can be responsible with our guns. We cannot, everybody cannot be held responsible for these people who goes out and robs people and murders people. This is wrong on all levels, no matter what. I believe in the guns for the purpose of self-defense and the purpose of hunting for your food, not going out just shooting things, be killing things for the fun of it and leaving it there, not going out robbing people and not going out just murdering people. This is what I believe. Do I think it gets overboard on the guns? Sure, I think, like I say, I don't think someone needs to own 400 guns. You know, that, like I say, I talk about Doomsday Prepper a lot. You'll see them showing a full arsenals of guns, 400 different types of guns or whatever. Now, there is people that collects guns and they enjoy collecting the guns, and it's a hobby for them, and it's a collection for them, and that's all fine too. But for me, 4 good guns is all I would need, with 4 different types of ammunition. Keep my inventory rather simple, and keep me stocked on that. So that there is something to think about on that. How do you feel about these people who want to ban guns? Do you think they're stupid? Do you think they are crazier than us, than the preppers out here? You know, being a basic down to earth prepper, I know good and well that there may be a day I will have to take and shoot someone to defend myself. I know there is a day I will have to take those guns out there and hunt my own food. That is something that I know is going to be the case. So you tell me. This is part 1 on this here. Now this was over in Canada is what this one wrote here, but this still falls into the lines of way people think here in the U.S. The reason some of these people in the U.S. is pushing for gun control, because unfortunately, and it's a sad situation, they lost a loved one due to gang violence, due to someone robbing someone, due to flat out murdering someone because they didn't like the way they looked, or they broke up, or whatever the deal is. These incidents at these schools, the incidents at these colleges and things. That's why some of these people are going for to ban guns United States wise and make it totally illegal to own a gun. So that's 10 reasons here, and I read them off to you again. Do I agree with it? Not really. I do agree that we need to be responsible for our guns. Do I think taking the guns away from everybody is going to solve it? I don't think so. I think it probably would make it worse. But that's my opinion. This is part one. Join me. I want to do part two here, and that part two will be on 15 reasons you should own a gun. Is part two. So this is Live Prepper here. Check out my Joan C series. Check out my page on Facebook, World of Joan. I want all you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.